Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, felines and canines. We are back in RimWorld, and this time, something special has happened. The RimWorld Alpha is now out. It's passed through its pre-alpha days and is now into alpha. It came out a few days ago. Those of you who backed it in the Kickstarter at the alpha level should have access by now. If not, you'll probably be getting it really soon, I imagine. And there are a number of changes in the alpha release. A lot of it is to do with stuff like slowly integrating modding support and so on, so there's not that much to see. But there is a couple of new things that we can see right here. I mean, this is the new logo, this is a lovely new artwork, there is a load of new artwork in it, and that's slowly, progressing. And it looks really lovely. I mean, look at that. It sort of reminds me a little bit of FTL, which is by no means a bad thing. So, let's boot up a new colony. Now, we've got our choices here. We've got Chill Cassie, Cassandra Classic, Phoebe Friendly, Randy Random, Tough Cleopatra Classic. Now, I did stream the other day, and I streamed this and just had a look at what was new, and we were playing on Cassandra, and I found that on Cassandra, we died very quickly repeatedly because we ran out of food, because we continually get mysterious blight has destroyed your crops. And then I had to play earlier today just to, check if that was still happening or whatever. And I played it on Randy Random, and that event didn't actually occur all that much. It happened a couple of times, but not over and over and over again at the beginning, which would kill you because you don't have much food at the beginning. And I don't know whether it's just because, Cassandra Classic decides that the event that kills all your food off, the Mysterious Blight event, is, a fairly non-threatening event, and thus puts it in at the beginning because it goes, oh, well, you're not very strong, so I will give you the low-powered events. And that event at the beginning is incredibly killing. Like, it just... death. Lots of death. People going crazy and stuff. It's just, no. So I'm not sure if that's maybe me just being really unlucky there, or perhaps it's just a tweak thing with the Cassandra. So we're going to play on Randy Random, which, is cool. It's also got lovely new artwork for these. Randy Random basically doesn't really care all that much about what strength you are. So it'll throw you events unrelated to the strength of your base, is how I believe it works. So we're going to go with Randy. And then we're going to pick our 3 beginning characters. Can't do mining, can't do anything useful, so we're going to randomize him again. Shooting 0. Social 7, growing 7, research 6. Okay, she is useful. She can shoot, she's just not very good at it. Despite the fact she's a gunsmith, she's not good with guns. She was a cave world tender. She worked with the other children tending the tribe's fungus crops. And then she became a teacher. Fair enough. Who do we have here? We have Arcady the Commissar, who can't do research. Is good at mining. That's really nice. Passable at shooting. And then an inventor who is really kind of crap. He's got reasonable social, but then again we're using the teacher for social because teacher's got social 7. Other than that, he's got a bit of research, but the teacher has higher research. And he's got really high crafting, and crafting doesn't do anything at the moment. So we're going to randomize again and see what we can get. Fairly good fighting, but social and research, no. Incapable of pretty much everything. Wow, this is like the most useless character you would ever have. Really good at mining, at least. Can't shoot or melee, don't want that in a starting character. Can't research, but is pretty passable at everything else, including a decent score for shooting. I think we're going to go with this lineup. So we have Kat the Teacher, who grew up in a cave world, tending the mold and fungus and whatever to grow that for food. She decided to, get out and about and do some running when they finally discovered what the surface was like. And she then later became a gunsmith, despite the fact that she promised herself she would never fire a gun because her parents were killed by a gun held by a mugger in an alley after an opera. That's such an original idea. I should totally write that down. Arcady, the human male colonist, who knew Kat from the cave world. He was in charge of tunneling around and navigating and digging some more tunnels. He then became a military commissar to enforce, the strong arm of the military on the cave world where people were sort of, leaving the caves to explore the outside, which is completely forbidden. He got into a fight and lost his arms, and now has artificial arms, and he is very selfless, which is why he excelled at being a military commissar. Definitely, yeah. That's good. And a joy wire artist. Okay, so Joywire is some sort of cutting-edge software which gets implanted into you and somehow enhances user experience or something. But the procedure obviously went wrong, and he now has visions of the future and has a split personality because of it. Because, of course, it was a pretty experimental procedure when he went around it, because he is now 51. That worked rather well, actually, I think. Okay, right, so we've got Cross, Arcady, and Cat. I could go Start, I could go Advanced, sorry, and that allows you to change the size of the world. But we did have a couple of lagging problems in the later game on the last one we played, so I'm just going to leave it at the default for now and go along with that. Right, so let's start. Generating world. Okay.
The three of you awake in your long-sleeve sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive.
Boop. There we go. So let's look. Lot of stuff to mine here. What else is there? What else is there? This is fairly goodish land here for maybe setting up some sort of growing area. Do we have any thermal? They've got one thermal there, because that'll be useful for power requirements. Okay, we've only got the one thermal then, and it is fairly far away, which isn't great for us. I'm thinking we might as well just set up shop around here, wall that off, put our power in there, because this is also, no, it's growing area, so yeah, if we're going to grow, we can't grow indoors, really, without large power. And in the early game, in this especially, we need to just focus straight on food, because there is a new system involved in this game, and you're probably wondering, what are these strange coloured squares? These are stockpiles. The green one is a dumping stockpile, and the red one is a stockpile. I would imagine they'd be the other way round, for like green is for go and red is for waste dumping, because it's stop, but that's the starting ones. Now, they aren't always like that actually, the colours are randomised, so your first two will always be this colour this way round. But then you will get like, the next one will be like a blue stockpile, then you'll get like a lilac-y and a cyan and an indigo stockpile. I'd kind of like it if they were themed, like all were a certain colour or a certain shade, and all of this were a certain colour or a certain shade, just so that you could tell the difference between them really quick. But that's something for the future. Now, the big change this means is that all stuff on the map exists. And you think like, well, obviously that, things exist on the map. Yeah, but you can't just say, take all these potatoes. Food is now potatoes, by the way, which is really strange, because I believe if I can find a raspberry bush, there we go, you will get potatoes off the raspberry bush. Anyway. It's a very strange genetic modified raspberry bush. Yeah, so when you get this food, you can put it into your stockpile. Now, in the pre-alpha, you just put it into this area, which was like 3x3 or 4x4, I believe. And then it would just go up to this magical sky cloud sort of system where all your food existed and you could just call it down wherever you needed it. However, the change now is that all food exists on the map. All metal exists on the map. You take it to your stockpile needs room to keep it. And then when you want to build something, you must take it from the stockpile. So if any of you played Dwarf Fortress, it works pretty much like that, in that things exist on the map, they are permanent, you don't take them to a magical counter up here, and they just go into the counter and stop existing on the map. This does cause a couple of issues in that I don't think it's fully implemented across the board yet, and I have had some issues with things being obsolete, like weapon racks. If you want to sell things now, you have to put them in a stockpile on a launch pad. But of course, weapons go in weapon racks. And you can't sell weapons out of weapon racks because you have to sell them out of the stockpile that's on the launch pad. Which kind of means that you don't build weapon racks, you just leave them there. Also, food can because it exists in stockpiles as a real thing. Let's just mark food as please. Ooh, there's lots of food on the map actually. Yeah, food left out will be eaten by animals and other annoying little vermin like squirrels and boom rats. They will come along and eat your food. So leaving your food out is not particularly useful. However, you don't really have a choice because you need to sometimes leave things on the launch pad to be able to sell them. People don't just go, oh, you want to sell this, and then they haul it to the launch pad like, say, they would in Dwarf Fortress, where they go, okay, you want me to sell this, or you want to sell this, and then they take it to the launch pad to be sent up. Yeah, you have to constantly have this stuff existing on the launch pad as just a generic stockpile that happens to be on top of the launch pad. Which is a bit annoying to say the least, because you kind of want to keep your food maybe in a stockpile in your caves or in your building so that, you know, squirrels and boom rats don't eat it. However, if you do that, you can't trade it, and, you know, trading your food is useful provided you have enough surplus of it. That said, in this current version, I haven't had a surplus of food that I feel comfortable about selling at all. Food is the reason you will die in this game currently. So, let's get started. Now, this is it's fertile-ish. I mean, to have our actual farms going, we can't have it on this stony area, and we can't have it on the sand. So what we're looking for is this bit here, but the problem is it's a narrow band. There's not a particularly large area of it. This is probably our best bet. Will that work? I think this would work as well. That looks a bit barrenish. I'm going to try and put down a growing area there. Yeah, it can. Okay. So right now, I am thinking growing area here or here. Probably here, just because I was about to say there is more room. It's not a lot more room because this is all useful. So one. Ooh, couldn't quite get two in there for 3. And then here we can, we can get a lot more in here. Okay, so we'll start off here. We'll dig in here. We'll also build a temporary structure in which they're going to live. That is a very important thing. I found that you kind of need to just concentrate on food straight from the get-go, and especially things like the nutrient paste dispenser. So you can't really wait to build up a actual, you know, base and then populate the base. You have to build a temporary structure ASAP. So we're going to put down as many of these in as, you know, space efficient a pattern as possible, because fertile land is at a premium. Can we get one in here? No. If we go 1 over, we can. Yeah, okay. Ooh, that was good. Right, we'll go with that there. That there. I mean, it's annoying that they're not next to each other, but try and take advantage of the bits of land that we get is difficult. Right, okay, that works. So let's just... Oh, let's put deconstruct order on that one, actually. Yeah, so we've got 3 for now. 3 is going to be plenty. That gives us a little bit of excess so that we can actually expand, but it doesn't sort of overwhelm them with tasks. And we'll just get rid of all the plants that are in the way. And we'll also set haul orders on this rubble. Now, we should probably expand the area here for the storage. So let's go and open up our zones, dumping stockpile. And then maybe another 5. And go on another 5 as well. And then we'll also open up this stockpile a little bit more. Oh, okay, yeah. That doesn't work. You can expand a dumping zone, but you can't do... Let's see, can I go like that? No. Oh well. I don't mind having 2 stockpiles. You can just see that the first one was blue and then the second one's yellow. And you can sort of go onto them. You can rename them. You can go to storage. You can check what they've got in them. You can do drop down, so you can say only has shells or whatever. So that's our first thing. And now we've got to concentrate on our first little building. Now, what we want to do is make sure we have a place for them to live inside for light, room for prisoners, and we'll just chuck all the prisoners into a little pen, basically. And a nutrient paste dispenser. Problem is, we don't actually have enough metal because they haven't hauled the metal to the stockpile. As you can see, our metal only reads 59, but that's because this metal here needs to be hauled into there. So let's open up this. You are our grower. Oh, manual priorities. So I'm going to put you on growing 1. You are also our warden. Everyone should be doctoring and everyone should be firefighting. We'll also put you on plant cutting 1. And we'll just leave you like that for research for now. You need to be in charge of mining, so let's put you on 2 for mining. And you were in charge of just general things, I believe. Oh, you can't do hauling. Whoops. I probably should have picked someone who could do hauling. Okay. And we'll let them do their thing. Right, now, the best fighter. Who was the best fighter? I believe it might have been the Joywire. Yeah. Okay, so you grab the Lee Enfield. You two grab pistols. There we go. And now just advance. You can see already we've got a lot of metal, and it's slowly going up. I'm going to wait until it gets to a bit of a higher reasonable amount so that we can actually build a lot of things at once. And also because they're going to be busy planting this anyway, so there's no point in really concentrating on the building until they've got that planted. As you can see, our money is now silver. So there's a possibility that maybe we'll be able to mine that in future, I'm not sure. You'd think that maybe, you know, gold would be the currency, because gold is what we tend to set our stock by, but gold is actually fairly useful in that it's extremely conductive, so they use it for very sensitive electronics in the real world. So silver, on the other hand, less important, still a fairly precious metal, so people can have silver for that. And right, what do we need? We need a solar generator. Then we need a nutrient paste dispenser with room next to it to put hopper in. Hoppers are very important, because these are where you put the food. Because of course food now exists on the map, so you need someone to put food. So for this to be able to get food to make into nutrient paste, you need to be able to take the potatoes and put them into this hopper. And let's set up our wall. So buildings, we need a battery as well, that's a good idea. Batteries are highly important. And structure, power conduit, wall. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger than that, just so we can get the table in. We're not going to want a lot of stuff in, so temporarily that should be fine. And then this can be our pen for holding prisoners. Door, door, door. Furniture. Go with just sleeping spots for the moment. Now this is going to be where we're going to hold our prisoners. And this is where we can put our beds for our actual people. We'll also put a standing lamp in. Here. Here. And here. And then a small table, just a small table. Here. With chairs facing it like so. I only need 2 chairs tonight. We've only got 3 people. Other than that, I think we're okay, because we're just trying to save up as much metal as possible, because this is only like a starting place. We're not going to be living in this for too long, hopefully. Everyone goes to sleep. That's fine. And hopefully they'll wake up sometime soon. Come on, guys. Wakey, wakey. Excellent. So you can see Kat's doing all of her planting work. Arcady is moving all the rubble. And we now have a nutrient paste thingy, although we don't have power for it, which will hopefully change soon. A banished soldier. Ooh, someone who's a soldier. Sharp. Well, we definitely want Sean Bean to join us. He's a 10 on melee, but he's only a 3 on shooting. He wasn't a very good soldier, was he? He was a slave in a work camp. He then became a soldier and was banished. He became the most physically intimidating slave, spending his little free time obsessively sculpting his body. His efforts eventually paid off when his lord offered him a job as a personal bodyguard. Later, when he plotted to use his position to kill the lord and free the slaves, he was discovered and barely escaped with his life. Well, there we go. I don't even need to come up with a backstory for him. He's got a pretty good one. He goes berserk in his business acumen. I guess that's maybe because, he had to find something to do after he got banished. So he got business acumen. Right. You are just sewing, and we've got most of our stuff sewn already, so I'm going to send you to arrest Sharp. Okay, we kind of need to set up our... Right, I'm going to... Where's he going? Where is he going? Is he coming down here? Yeah, he is. Right, so we'll get there, ready to get him. And then Arcady, you need to now be just temporarily promoted to Construction 1. Oh crap, he's going that way. No, cut him off, we need him. He needs to join our team. It's going to be close, guys. Oh, come on. What hasn't been made? Oh, you are kidding. Is there any way we can... There isn't anywhere that we can put him. No, okay. Bye-bye, Sharp. I really wanted you for the team. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed right now. You've let me down. Yeah, because, of course, you need a cell to put your prisoners in, and this isn't blocked off yet. The wall isn't up, so we can't really keep them anywhere. Which is a shame. Oh, well. Right, Arcady is up. Arcady is more doing... Yeah, more holding. Oh. We just have someone Lynx. Rebecca Lynx Edwards. She is intellectual, incapable of firefighting. I have no idea why you'd be incapable of firefighting. Surely you'd kind of need... Oh. Shooting 9, melee 11? Well, I don't mind taking her and bringing her into the fold. That's gonna have to be a thing. You need to, come on, construct this so that we can actually get her in the team. There we go. Capture her. We'll convert her to our cause. Our cause being survival on this RimWorld. Right, so she was a spoiled child, then became a test subject. Oh, she was kidnapped to be a test subject, okay. And the test subject gave her a load of shooting and a load of melee, but removed her research and social skills. And disabled her researching completely. It's very strange. Why would it be a test subject to make you completely unable to do any research? You'd think that maybe you would be intrigued by research because of what they did to you. Or maybe you just don't ever want to think about research again. Possibly. I guess it's one result. Right. I think we'll probably stop the episode in a second and call it there for the first one. I know we spent a lot of time getting set up and talking about the changes, but then again, it is now in alpha. I think you can still get hold of it if you go to the RimWorld website. You can probably just Google it and back it from there. Of course, it's still very alpha, as in this is the very first build of alpha. Before now, it was pre-alpha. So I think you can forgive it for the lack of feature set so far. Still, it's an amazing game, and as you can see, we now have new assets for our characters. And there's, you know, some cool things. So our commissar has a big black coat and a mohawk. Cat, the teacher, has pigtails. And the Joyo artist is wearing some sort of open waistcoat, which is, you know, cool. So, I think as soon as they get done with the solar panel, I think we'll call it for today on this episode. And bam. We now have power. We can now get rid of these outside sleeping areas. And then they can start living in here. Temporarily, of course, until we actually sort out more permanent arrangements. Oh, there is a second geothermal. Here. I was wondering. I was like, I can only see one. There's normally two on a map this size. Someone has said that you can find geothermals inside the mountains. I haven't found any yet, but that'd be cool if you can. Anyway, calling it there for this episode. I've been EnterElysium, and this has been RimWorld now in alpha. You can always go back it from the website. It will be coming to Steam at some stage, I believe, but there is no news on an ETA of that so far. And for now, I'm going to sign off. I've been EnterElysium. This has been the new episode of RimWorld in a new series on a new map, because of course the old save wasn't compatible. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Stay shiny, everybody.